Hola, muy buenas a todos chicos y chicas, bienvenidos de nuevo al canal, bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo. Hoy vamos a hablar del STRV S1 del Streetsbank S1, el antitanque sueco premium que hay en la tienda. De hecho, pensaba hacer el vídeo titulado como el Patriot o como el Defender, si es que si vale la pena adquirir este antitanque premium. Pero en vez de hacer un análisis mucho más detallado, como hacía con el Patriot, comparativa y tal, es que en el caso del S1 es algo muy simple. El S1 es un tanque que vale la pena comprar si no vais a seguir la línea de cazacarros suecos. Es decir, ¿por qué? Porque el cañón que equipa el STRV S1 es el mismo que equipa el último cañón del UDES-03. Y el UDES-03, al tener un perfil más bajo y al ser más pequeño, tiene más camuflaje. De forma que el S1 en ese aspecto es prácticamente lo mismo que sería el UDES con el último cañón, pero con peor camuflaje, vamos a decirlo así. Si bien es cierto que el entrar y el salir en modo asedio es bastante similar, el S1 salió sobre todo para la gente que no quería seguir la línea de cazacarros suecos, pero sin embargo pues quería experimentar lo que es el tema del modo asedio, que es lo que estamos ahora, ¿no? Que cambia el tanque muchas prestaciones en lo que es el modo asedio a estar sin el modo asedio. Entonces, yo os digo, si no vais a seguir la línea de cazacarros suecos, no os renta mucho comprar ese antitanque. O si lo compráis, bueno, quizás os servirá para entrenar tripulaciones si más adelante os da por hacer esa rama. Pero en principio no os vale la pena, porque el UDES es mejor. Es así. Sin embargo, si decidís comprar este antitanque, porque os gusta o porque queréis probar el modo asedio, etc., os diré que va muy bien. ¿Por qué? Sobre todo por la munición que usa. Como podéis ver, únicamente equipa APCR. Y el APCR penetra 288 y la APCR Premium 330. Es decir, a priori no deberéis tener problemas para entrarle casi a nada. De hecho, se nota mucho, y sobre todo se nota mucho por el tema de la velocidad de las balas. Ya sabéis que las APCR son balas que viajan, tienen una velocidad de viaje, digamos, más velocidad de vuelo, perdón, más rápida que las AP normales. Y esto para tanques ligeros y para que vehículos que están en movimiento va extraordinariamente bien. Lo digo porque es que va muy bien. Después, obviamente, como cualquier tanque que tenga el modo asedio, que es a partir del UDES-03, pues tenéis que acostumbraros a ello también. Porque es cierto que ganáis muchísima precisión. ¿Veis? Lo que tiene este Bachat que está en movimiento. Con la PCR le hemos dado fácilmente porque la bala va muy deprisa. Aquí no creo que le podemos dar, vale. Tenéis que acostumbraros a entrar en el modo asedio porque a pesar de que va muy bien, pues veis aquí este coordinaciones 32 también en movimiento. Aquí tenemos un Jackpad CR100. Este va a costar un poco más porque está muy blindado por delante. ¿Veis? Le rebotamos. Quizá es de los pocos que hay que utilizar un poco de munición premium, a no ser que no le tengáis tiro. Aquí veis este Bachat está muy cerca, pero muy cerca. Y fijaos que no nos pinta, no nos está viendo. Y esto es por el gran camuflaje que tienen los suecos y sobre todo si pues tripulaciones buenas con buenas habilidades de camuflaje. Fijaos que está muy cerca este Bachat, pero muy cerca. Y no nos estaba viendo para nada. Entonces lo que os decía, os sirve para acostumbraros un poco al tema del modo asedio, entrar y salir, saber cuándo retiraros, etcétera. Pero es un tanque que es campero puro, ¿vale? O sea, no hay medias tintas con él. Es un tanque para estar en segunda línea, si no en tercera, siempre oculto y con alguien que os muestre pintura. Es decir, que sea este 62A o quien sea que os muestre los objetivos. Pensad que tiene el cañón fijo, como ocurre con el Tier 9 y Tier 10 de los antitanques suecos. Así que si no entráis en el modo asedio, no tenéis absolutamente ninguna movilidad del cañón en lo que sería el eje vertical. Es decir, lo podéis mover izquierda, derecha, pero no podéis bajar nada el cañón. Nada, ¿eh? A diferencia del UDES, que sí que puede bajarlo porque tiene un poco más de elevación y de presión de cañón. Por eso os digo que el UDES en comparación es mejor. Si vais a seguir la rama sueca, no os renta mucho comprar el S1 a no ser que queráis entrar tripulaciones, pero no creo que os rente porque es que el S1 es mejor, de verdad. Tiene mejor camuflaje y mismo cañón. Ahora si decís, mira, no, es que no voy a seguir la rama sueca porque no me interesa, pues sí, os renta el S1 si queréis probar el modo asedio porque va muy bien. Tiene una muy buena pegada, casi 400 de golpe, muy buena penetración, buen camuflaje, muy buena movilidad porque es un tanque muy rápido tanto delante como marcha atrás. Y realmente pues, va bastante bien. Pero ya os digo, sobre todo es esta elección. No es un tanque como el Defender que puedes decir, bueno, es que el Defender claro, es mejor que el IS-3, tal. El Patriot también, o directamente, yo que sé, el Scorpion, que se habla mucho, ahora mucho del Scorpion, ¿no? Es el tanque más popular del juego, es el Wiki Baby. Pues si queréis tener la alternativa al Scorpion, o simplemente es esto, el S1 es para probar el modo asedio. Únicamente nació en el departamento de Wargaming con esa finalidad. Para la gente que no quería rama sueca, pero sin embargo quería probar el modo asedio. Pues si sois esas personas, el S1 es para vosotros. Si vais a seguir la rama sueca, no creo que rente mucho. Pero bueno, ya pues habéis visto que es un tanque que si está muy atrás, podéis hacer muy buenas cantidades de daño. No es nada raro hacerse partidas de 2000, de más de 2000 de daño con este tanque. De verdad, no es raro. Porque con una pegada de casi 400, solo que puedas pegar 3 o 4, te vas ya a los 1500, 2000. Así que es simplemente saber usarlo. Chetarle mucho camuflaje, muchísimo. Y jugar siempre en segunda o tercera línea. Es un antitanque puro. Puro, ¿eh? O sea, no hay medias tintas de algún otro que puede ir un poco más adelante, con un poco más de blindaje frontal. No. Este es muy delicado. O sea, a diferencia del tier 9 y el tier 10, que pueden aguantar bastante, el S1 va a rebotar pocos tiros. En ese aspecto puede rebotar más que el UD-03. El UD-03 sí que tampoco va a aguantar nada. Pero no os fiéis mucho de los rebotes. Estad siempre atrás con el S1, siempre. Y conseguiréis partidas con bastante cantidad de daño. Ya hemos llegado a casi 3700, bueno, más de 3700. Pero sobre todo jugando muy atrás. Es un tanque en este aspecto, no diría cobarde, pero muy como deben ser los antitanques. Y sobre todo os digo, si intentáis como ahora iros a la primera línea, porque veis que la cosa está bastante ganada y todo, no os vayáis sin activar el modo asedio, aunque estéis a 1 metro del enemigo, os lo digo en serio, es que no podéis bajar el cañón. A mí me ha pasado más de una vez. Estás cerca del enemigo y dices, bueno, es igual, le meto un snapshot así sin modo asedio porque no tengo tiempo, lo vais a fallar. Porque la precisión empeora mucho sin el modo asedio. Y sobre todo es que no puedes bajar el cañón. Si el enemigo está un poco para abajo, un poco para arriba, no lo vais a poder bajar. Así que no os interesa para nada. Así que cuando estáis aquí cerca, activáis el modo asedio y tendréis toda la movilidad que necesitáis. Aquí no sé por qué la casa no... tal. Bueno, aquí está el 54. Si podemos darle... Sí, ahora sí. Es lo que os digo, la velocidad de las balas APCR realmente es lo que renta en ese tanque, ¿eh? Así que nada, vamos a ver dentro de las estadísticas, a ver cómo es esta partida del S1. Pues aquí tenéis las estadísticas de esta victoria con el SDRV S1. Nos dieron la maestría en primera clase, no conseguimos alzarnos con la maestría. Las condecoraciones de fuego efectivo, luchador, esto es detector creo, y matón. Y a la derecha nos dieron el carro francotirador con 128.000 créditos y 3.790 puntos de experiencia. Se venía por un por 2 de la primera victoria del día y por la cuenta premium. Y al ser un tanque premium, obviamente, con un bono. Ya lo podéis ver, pues hicimos 4 bajas, pero dañamos hasta 8 tanques y detectamos a 1. Y nos hizo estar en la cima del daño, aún siendo una batalla de tier 10. Podemos estar con el tier 8 del SDRVS1 en la cima de daño, con 4.310 puntos de daño y 4 bajas, mucho más que... bueno, más que el T-62A y más que incluso el Charioteer o el Grille 15, que solo se alzó con 1.600. Así que ya podéis ver que ese tanque realmente puede ser efectivo incluso en tier 10 debido a la alta penetración que tiene, aunque os repito que el UD-03 tiene exactamente la misma pegada y la misma penetración que el S1. Ya lo podéis ver aquí que pues 16 proyectiles disparados, 14 impactos directos y 13 penetraciones, es decir, solo fallamos realmente 2 tiros y después solo uno de ellos no fue una no penetración, que fue ese tiro al Jack Panzer E100 que estaba de frente. Si lo hubiéramos tirado seguramente en la parte de abajo, que este cañón también es muy preciso, seguramente incluso le habríamos entrado sin la necesidad de usar oro, pero eso habría que haberlo visto. Y ya lo podéis ver, 1300 también con la asistencia. Es un tanque que os digo, si lo bufáis mucho a camuflaje y a visión, usando pues binoculares, manta, rines de combate, lo que sea, pues podéis tener una ocultación muy buena y un rango de visión muy bueno que hace que podáis ver, por ejemplo, a tanques a mucha distancia y después con el camuflaje que pase con este Batchat que estaba muy cerca de nosotros y ni siquiera nos vio. Pero como os digo, chicos, el objetivo de este vídeo, que es responder la pregunta de si vale o no la pena el S1, vale la pena si no vais a seguir la línea de cazacarros suecos. Si la vais a seguir, os renta más seguir la rama normal y pillar el UD-03, a no ser que seáis muy fanáticos del tema del asedio y os compréis el S1 para entrar en las tripulaciones para cuando os toque el UDES y después irlo subiendo hasta el STRV-103, que es el tier 10, ¿vale? Pero en principio es lo que os digo, si no os interesa para nada el tema de los suecos, pero queréis probar el modo asedio, que es un tanque diferente al de Scorpion, y experimentar lo que son los suecos, el S1 os puede gustar. Si estáis empezando la rama sueca, yo creo que vale la pena que os gastéis el dinero en otro tanque premium, si es que queréis comprar otro premium de 8. Esta es mi opinión, por favor decidme las vuestras en vuestros comentarios, si alguien tiene el S1 también que diga qué le parece. Si alguien no lo tiene y tiene alguna duda más, pues que me lo pregunte. Yo tengo el S1, así que se la puedo responder sin problema. Y alguna cosa que hagáis visto del gameplay que queráis preguntar, pues también lo podéis hacer, ¿vale, chicos? Quiero aprovechar para agradecer a toda la gente que me ha pedido la tesis doctoral para leerla en el anterior vídeo. Si alguien aún no la ha recibido, por favor, decídmelo en los comentarios, ¿vale? Porque sé que fuisteis muchos los que me escribisteis y creo que os escribí a todos, pero puede que alguno me lo dijera un par de días más tarde y se me ha pasado, así que si alguien no la ha recibido y quiere recibirla, pues que me lo diga, ¿vale? Así que nada, chicos, como siempre un placer estar aquí haciendo vídeos para vosotros. Gracias por los apoyos al canal de Ánimos día a día, que de verdad que se agradecen muchísimo. Y nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. Un saludo y ¡hasta luego!
Hola a todos, bienvenidos de vuelta a World of Tanks en español. Yo soy Rage, su anfitrión, y el día de hoy vamos a hablar de mi tanque premium favorito, el Scorpion. Bueno, en este caso es el Scorpion G, pero el Scorpion alemán. Este tanque de tier 8 simplemente ha sido mi favorito. Para aquellos que me conocen de Blitz, también es mi tanque premium favorito allá. Y de hecho lo compré aquí antes de decidir hacer este canal y decidir jugar más. Simplemente lo compré porque estaba a la venta por oferta y demás, y dije, hey, si voy a tener un tanque premium, estoy seguro de que este me va a gustar. Y pues sí, así fue. Hoy en día lo tengo, lo estoy manteniendo en 57% de victorias, pero estoy subiéndolo poco a poco, con más de 3000 de WN8. Y este tanque ya lo tengo en más de 200 batallas jugadas. De hecho estoy muy cerca, muy cerca de sacarle la tercera marca de excelencia. Entonces creo que estoy en 90%. La última vez que revisé estaba en 90% de 95%, entonces ya estoy muy cerca. Aquí de hecho ya tengo las dos marcas de excelencia en este juego. Y este tanque simplemente es un tanque que me fascina. Tienes mucha movilidad en este tanque, entonces lo que hice fue usar esa movilidad para llegar a esta posición. Y sé que hay tanques a mi derecha, pero en este momento yo salir sería muy peligroso, sobre todo porque no los detecté cuando subí. Y lo que estoy intentando hacer es simplemente detectar. Con este tanque he logrado además generar muchísimos créditos gracias al daño que puedo hacer con él. Simplemente es como muy confiable en cuanto al daño que hago. Y es un tanque que disfruto muchísimo jugar. Entonces sin duda alguna ha sido un tanque muy decente para mí. Ahí por ejemplo estaba esperando un poco, no me di cuenta de que podía dispararle al IS-3A. De hecho me doy cuenta de que puedo dispararle una vez que suena la asistencia. Y ahí voy a dispararle un blanco más fácil y que tiene menos vida. Eso es un muy buen aprendizaje que les puedo dar, que es dispárenle a los tanques que tengan menos vida. Siempre es más importante eliminar a un tanque que hacer más daño. Entonces ahí empezamos, el IS-3A nos dispara porque justo nos detectó el T-71 que tenemos el CMSD, el T-71 pues. Y pues El único problema es que aquí ya estamos en una situación muy incómoda donde los pesados nos pueden disparar de la izquierda y tenemos varios tanques a la derecha y nuestro T-34-85 haciéndonos pedazos. Y pues sí, aquí también un pequeño spoiler que yo creo que ya vieron con la alarma del sexto sentido, es que estoy usando los mods que usa Quickie Baby, porque hay un mod en particular que se llama Battle Hits, que puedes ver precisamente dónde impactaron tus tiros o dónde te impactaron a ti. Entonces te ayuda mucho. Y aquí vamos a bajar el arma contra el E-75. Obviamente el E-75 con una recarga de 2 segundos pues nos va a lograr robar un tiro, un poco de daño, pero para ser justos creo que ahí nosotros hicimos mucho más. Ahí de todas formas intento disparar. El EC-8 está disparando con alta explosiva, por suerte no penetra su tiro. Pero sin duda alguna estamos en una situación muy complicada. Y aquí pues voy a seguir intentando apoyar a mi equipo de ese lado, porque de este lado no puedo hacer nada contra ese E-25. Lo que estoy esperando tal vez es que me presione. Y aquí el E-25 decide presionar. Aquí empieza a llover artillería y lo que estoy intentando hacer aquí es que no me disparen en la parte de atrás. Voy a usar el autoapuntado, voy a salir así. Él como que entra en pánico y de hecho no me dispara. Y logramos eliminar a ese tanque que nos estaba haciendo pues sufrir un poco en esta situación. Ahora vamos a apuntarle al S1. Voy a esperar a que mis binoculares se activen. Y una vez que mis binoculares se activaron, vamos a eliminar al S1. Simplemente para seguir poniendo nuestro equipo en el juego. Porque aunque ya hemos eliminado 3 tanques, hemos hecho más de 3000 de daño combinado, vamos perdiendo de forma todavía bastante significativa. 2 tanques de diferencia. Sin duda no es un buen resultado. Y aquí lo que estoy intentando hacer, la verdad es que ya en este punto tenía un poco de miedo. Dije, seguramente si salgo algo me va a pegar porque saben que estoy aquí. Pero por lo menos ahí ya logramos hacer una especie de barrera con estos 2 tanques. Y lo que voy a hacer va a ser volver a salir, usar mis binoculares para detectar y estar cuidándome la espalda, por así decirlo. Mi IS-3 está enfrentando al IS-3A. Por suerte va ganando, por lo menos en cuanto a vida. Y con un poco de apoyo de artillería, entonces eso digamos que está a nuestro favor. Yo aquí no voy a poder disparar hacia el centro, entonces lo que tengo que hacer es liberar mi flanco para poder yo empujar de este lado. Pero todavía no he podido detectar al E8. Ese M4 sé que está en alguna parte de ahí, puede que esté en esos arbustos, pero no me está detectando, entonces es un poco relativo. O tiene una muy mala tripulación y no tiene binoculares, o está mucho más lejos de lo que esperaba en primera instancia. Y lo que hago es simplemente salir más. Y esta vez sí lo detecto con mis binoculares. Él también me detecta. Voy a dispararle casi en movimiento y él va a fallar su tiro. Y esa es otra cosa que tiene este tanque, que tiene un manejo de arma. Es un cazatanque con un arma de 12.8 centímetros. ¿Se imaginan 18 centímetros? Eso sería como el 183. Pero tiene una cosa a favor. Y es que al tener una torreta, al tener suficiente depresión en el arma, al tener un muy buen daño por minuto para el tier y un manejo de arma bastante funcional, puedes hacer muy buenas cosas. Y aquí el T-78 es eliminado por mi artillería. Ahí voy a disparar simplemente de forma inmediata. De hecho el M4 no me detecta al hacer eso. Eso quiere decir que él no está ahí. Entonces lo que voy a hacer va a ser esperar con mis binoculares y pues tener un poco de esperanza que cuando salga el M4 lo pueda detectar, y yo al estar ya apuntado voy a poder dispararle, y él al tener un arma DERP no va a tener tiempo ni para apuntarme y el proyectil se va a tardar en llegar, por lo tanto voy a poder ponerme a cubierto. Y aquí la artillería vuelve a impactarme. Vamos a curar a nuestra tripulación de forma inmediata. Y simplemente lo que aquí estaba pensando es tal vez el M4 lo que hizo fue moverse a través de esa pequeña gruta que hay en la zona sur del mapa, que pueden ver esta pequeña gruta aquí. Tal vez lo que hizo fue moverse a través de esa gruta y está buscando flanquearme. Entonces lo que estaba intentando hacer era ponerme en estos arbustos, activar mis binoculares de forma continua para ver hacia esta zona. Y pues hasta ahora no ha habido ningún tipo de movimiento. Lo que voy a hacer ahora es volver a hacer lo mismo, cambiarme de flanco, ver si está de este lado y esperar lo mejor. Honestamente en este momento ya estaba esperando lo mejor, y justo como esperaba, el M4 está en esa gruta, está saliendo lo suficiente para que yo pueda salir, apuntar y eliminarlo. Entonces, sin duda alguna hemos logrado aquí mantener nuestro terreno contra 4 tanques. Y aquí ya estaba diciendo, viene un as en camino, ¿no? Sabía que esto iba a ser una maestría. porque ya llevaba 4 enemigos destruidos, 4000 de daño, y ya empiezas a decir, seguramente esto va a ser una maestría, porque además todavía no se acaba, todavía tengo que hacer trabajo si quiero ganar este juego. Quedan 2 artillerías vivas y pues simplemente voy a presionar. Su Super Chaffee ya es eliminado, su lío sigue activo, pero sus artillerías creo que ahorita son lo más importante para mí y lo que voy a estar buscando. De nuevo, este tanque, otra de las facultades que tiene es la increíble movilidad que tiene, que muchas veces puede hacerte sentir como un tanque medio con un arma gigantesca. Y aquí el Challenger estaba intentando como minimizar mi logro. Y yo les puedo decir, chicos, que cuando la gente intenta minimizar tus logros, en lugar de decir, hey, buen juego o algo así, cuando la gente intenta minimizar tus logros es porque tienen mucha inseguridad de ellos. Y ahí vamos a lograr impactar al lío de forma completamente ciega y ni siquiera podíamos verlo a la distancia. No estaba en el área renderizado. Entonces un muy buen impacto así al lío, que ni siquiera sabe de dónde dispararon. Y es algo que me he dado cuenta que puedo hacer muy bien con este tanque. Ese tipo de tiros donde ni siquiera puedes ver el renderizado. El arma es muy confiable. Entonces aquí vamos a por fin eliminar al lío y vamos a buscar a su artillería. El M12 ya es detectado y pues sigo buscando a la otra. Tengo un poco de esperanza de tal vez llevarme uno más. Y ahí el M4 es detectado. Quiero un poco de venganza tal vez. Vamos a disparar y logramos eliminar al tanque. 5 enemigos eliminados. Sin duda un muy buen juego para el Scorpion. Y todavía les tengo uno que es todavía mejor, porque podrán decir, sí, fue un buen juego, fue una maestría, lo que quieras, pero fue contra tier 6. Entonces, sin duda alguna, eso sí le quita un poco de mérito. Se podría decir que no es tan impresionante de sacar una maestría contra tier 6. O por lo menos, más bien, sí es bueno, pero no es como, wow, sacaste una maestría contra tier más alto, que es mucho más complicado. Pero bueno, chicos, este fue un excelente juego por parte del Scorpion. Sin duda un muy buen juego. Y pues ahora vamos a movernos a la siguiente captura que tenemos. Esto fue en total básicamente lo que vieron, solo que tuvimos un poco de asistencia extra por ese tiro de artillería en el T-78, pero fueron 4806 de daño, 5 enemigos destruidos y 390 de asistencia, una excelente maestría y pues muchísimos créditos hechos. Entonces vamos a pasar ahora al siguiente juego.
Hi everyone, it's Quickie Baby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and Frontline is back. And in today's video I'm going to try and get you up to speed with all of the changes so you can be as efficient as possible if you decide to play the game mode again. So firstly, what is the big change to Frontline? Well, it's the same size, it's 30 versus 30 combat on a 9 km squared map where you get to respawn across multiple tanks, but the biggest change is that tier 9 vehicles are in it. This is very controversial with the community, and finally in the next week we're going to get the opportunity to test whether it was a good change or whether it was a terrible change inside the system. So the first thing that you're going to have to do is get not only your tier 8 tanks ready, but your tier 9 tanks ready as well. Luckily, Wargaming has a fairly okay UI where you can use the filter system to be able to get your tier 9 tanks and possibly your reward tier 9 tanks all equipped with all of your crews before you jump into the game. And make sure you do that if, for example, you want to play your premium tanks, but your crews are inside your regular tech tree vehicles, then they're not going to be available inside the combat, so watch out for that. The next massive change is that Wargaming's availability of the combat reserves, which are additional reserves that you can use inside the frontline battle to be able to do things such as repair, cap faster, or alternatively inspire yourself or your allies by increasing your crew skill, are now kind of forced upon different tank types. For example, it's not going to be possible now for a light tank to be able to have engineering right from the get-go to be able to defend against the cap circle. And in fact, Wargaming, at least in this blurb here, doesn't look like engineering actually helps in defending against a capture at all. You start with 3 default reserves. You start with an Inspire, an artillery strike, and a recon flight. And once you've managed to get through some of the levels, you're going to be able to purchase additional ones to be able to customize the way you're going to play. With the new ones, the more powerful ones like Minefield, Sentinel, and Field Repairs, being towards the end that you're only going to get after winning many games of Frontline. Frontline is going to last for a week over the next 4 months, so there's going to be more than enough opportunity to be able to progress through your battle pass, because realistically, that is going to be the main use of playing Frontline, apart from making loads of credits and getting experience in your vehicles, as you don't get tanks for playing Frontline for this season. Since Wargaming's Battle Pass system is in the game, you get Battle Pass points that then you can purchase all of the vehicles from this year, like the Kunze Panzer, the AE Phase 1, the Charfu Tier 4, etc, etc. If you win and you finish in the top 5, you're going to get 25 battle points. If you lose, you're going to get 10 in the top 5, and then 5 if you're in the top 20, and you're not going to get any if you are in the top 30 of experience. By gaining experience for getting ranks inside the game, you're still going to get some rewards, but it's kind of just like 5 vent purges, 15 exhaust installations. I guess there's some fuel filter replacements, which are quite okay, but unless you need the battle pass, and if you're a really dedicated player, like me, if you've already completed the battle pass, you're not really getting too much for playing Frontline outside of the credits. So it is optional, which I think is quite good, that it's a game mode that is there, that is presented for a little bit of fun for people who actually enjoy the game mode and don't feel like you actually have to play Frontline this time to get a tank unless you want to. On the other hand, considering that Frontline has just been so rewarding up until this point, kind of feels a little bit lackluster that we're not getting something outside of the battle pass points if we've already completed it for playing it. So even though Wargaming have had a very long time to be able to make Frontline better, they haven't really made too many changes. There isn't a new map, the format is pretty much the same apart from tier 9 tanks going into it. Obviously there's been a global pandemic which might have set back the development of the game, but I can't help but feel a little bit disappointed that considering how long they've had to work on it, the Frontline is kind of just coming back the way that it was with tier 9 vehicles. Okay, so what is the most important thing to do on Frontline? It's to get involved in the game quickly. That's why I love to play my EBR at the start of the battle. It allows me to advance forwards, hopefully get some vision out, maybe try and get a little bit of crossfire on the enemy team, and hopefully I can manage to interrupt the cap circle, because if you can interrupt the cap circle, you get lots of experience, but oh dear. Yeah. That's what happens when you drive out in front of a platoon of Borasks. But one of the best things about Frontline, and it's one of the most refreshing things about the game, is that you can make a mistake, you can get punished, but it's not the end of it, because now you get to select another vehicle and be able to go back again. And I guess I was just thinking about which one I wanted to play. It looks like I'm going to probably select an LT432. Now, at this point, you could change flanks altogether if that's what you were inclined on doing. And I do think that there's a strength in doing that. Defending the cap circle is one of the best ways to be able to make your level, which you can see up in the top corner of the screen, increase. And if you can be able to go up from the private rank all the way to the general rank, you're going to get yourself more progress for your battle pass points. You're going to get yourself more progress to be able to get the other reserves. And you're also going to get yourself more experience and, importantly, more credits, because there is a bonus for reaching the higher ranks to that as well. This game mode can get incredibly lucrative if you can consistently get the general rank, or if you can get up towards the major rank, or as high as you can possibly get. And you're playing some premium tanks, and you're using credit boosters. With regards to the premium tank situation, should we try and count what kind of premium tanks are actually playing on this flank? Actually, do you know what? It'll probably be easier to count the tanks that aren't premium. 1. 2, 3? Okay, so it looks like out of the 30 or so players that are here, it looks like about 2 or 3 of them are not premium. So, wow, that shows you just how well Wargaming does monetarily inside their game, right? That 90% of players are playing premium tanks. Although you could argue, considering that there's an event going on currently, at least on the European server, where if you log in, that you get yourself a bunch of rental reward tanks. I actually made a bit of a mistake. I thought that that was from the reactivation code, but it looks like everybody's just being able to get them. Why would people play regular vehicles when you can play your premium vehicles in Frontline? I think that now that the system is in place, where people are probably just going to be playing this for either the fun of it or because it's very lucrative to make credits. Of course, it does make sense that they are wanting to be able to play their premium vehicles. And I guess now that there are field modifications in the game, there is more reason than ever to be able to just play a lot of World of Tanks. And a lot of people will not have got the 100,000 experience or so that you need to play on each one of your premium tanks to be able to fully unlock field modifications. Talking about field modifications, I didn't actually show you that in the garage. It is one of the best things for Frontline. Because as you can see, apart from on my EBR 105, I don't use premium consumables at all. I leave one on my EBR, sorry, not 105, my 75, because that's the tank that I will play the most inside this game mode. Although, considering how it really didn't work out for me very well in this game, I think it will probably be better. Yeah, I'm not going to be getting very much use out of that premium consumable. But by taking one on maybe your favorite tank, you have to spend 10,000 credits if you bought it at half price, 20,000 credits if you're paying full price for it. But to be able to have that one tank that you're probably going to play the most, get the most benefit, and the fact that you don't have to resupply it multiple times if you die, is probably going to be getting the most out of your money right in a half an hour game. So one of the most important things in Frontline is that, of course, you never ever die unless you've got reinforcements to be able to respawn. Because I died so quickly inside this game in my EBR 75, if I was to die again in my LT432, I would literally just be out of the battle up until 15 seconds from now. So if I'd got caught in my LT432 as I was running away, I would literally have to just sit here and do nothing for a couple of minutes. And if you sit here and do nothing for a couple of minutes, not only does it put your team at a disadvantage, but more importantly, you're not going to be getting any of the fat credits and experience that most people are going to be playing this game to be able to achieve, right? So in this scenario, it's all about just trying to get crossfire on your opponents. Frontline is a game mode where people will play a lot more aggressively and the map is a lot wider and more open. Because people respawn, they don't mind throwing away their hit points to be able to try and get some damage or try to make a push against the enemy team. And so, one of the things that you should be always thinking about in Frontline is how can you either spot for yourself, spot for your team, or how can you be able to get a bit of a crossfire. And yeah, that's not how we get a crossfire, by being rammed to death by a Senlac. Nice play there. But I'm going to get in a more flexible tank that is going to be better for engaging at long range. But gosh, I got distracted. Let me focus up on the field modification, one of the best changes. If, like me, you don't want to use any of your premium consumables in Frontline because it kind of defeats the whole point of playing the game mode, I thoroughly recommend using the multiple consumable and ammunition loadout. Everybody gets it at level 1, which means that you only have to play a few games to be able to have a second loadout. And then what you can do is just put a free-to-play, or as free-to-play possible, ammunition and consumable loadout on your tanks. And then you can switch to a more, should we say, pay-to-win loadout with premium consumables or maybe more premium rounds in your vehicles for when you want to play the solo queue or the random battles of World of Tanks. I think that's definitely one of, if not the best changes of Frontline this season. And one of the best things about the field modifications is now being able to have multiple ways to set up your vehicles so you don't feel that you have to be constantly clicking in your garage when Frontline is here. Personally, I'm going to have a Frontline setup in every single one of my premium tanks, once I've of course managed to unlock it with the field modifications. And then I won't have to faff inside my garage when I want to play in the random queue where statistics matter and stuff like that, and you want to be as competitive as possible. Alright, well, that was possibly the longest I've ever taken to get a sergeant rank inside Frontline. I usually end up getting general in about 80 or 90% of my games, I'd say, when I'm playing well. At least ones that don't end because one team doesn't manage to progress or because the attackers just manage to take out your base too quickly. What I'm trying to say is, in a game that will go the distance, I do feel like I will very consistently get general. This was actually my first game of Frontline, and to be fair, we haven't played in a year. So I think I'm doing this video as much for myself as I am for all of you, because I felt really rusty when I was playing Frontline today for the first time. I didn't feel confident, and I'm trying to get all the different moves that I used to have in my head to be able to consistently get the top ranks, because that's what you want to do. You want to make your experience, you want to make your credits, and hopefully also get a few wins, even though your wins don't even really matter apart from the bonus that you're going to get to your credits and experience for being able to do so. Alright, so let's talk about all of the different consumables that we are now having access to. So it's quite interesting that everyone starts with 3 reserves. That's quite good for a player who's playing for the first time. Previously, you'd have to grind through the first few levels of Frontline and then level up your abilities to be able to achieve them. Now, your abilities don't level up because you purchased the extra levels inside the garage. Now what happens is, depending on what rank you are in the battle, you actually gain access to new abilities. So for example, that means that the people who are doing best, who are rank 3, or the, I guess, is it the sergeant rank or the lieutenant rank? Alright, I'm the sergeant rank, so it must be a lieutenant rank, are actually able to do more than I can currently do inside the battle. And so that's quite nice for the better players. If you can manage to snowball a game early and you can manage to get up the ranks, then you can unlock the better reserves and be able to use those to be able to take on the enemy team. And one of the ones that you see me using now is called Inspire. And Inspire has been buffed significantly. Inspire, I think, now does, I think it's either 15 or 20% crew skill, which is a massive buff. It will actually be the equivalent of an extra gun rammer on your tank, if not even more. And it also affects your allies. And what you can see right now is that my experience is going to be going up and up and up and up and up as I'm inspiring a lot of my friends around me. Now, all of their crew skills are being buffed, and every time they do damage, they're actually giving me experience. And so, wow, there we go, straight up to the lieutenant rank. And I'm hoping that they can manage to keep doing a little bit more, and just look at my experience bar at the top of the screen, really stepping on up. So it's quite often the people who manage to consistently get the higher ranks aside Frontline are the ones that are using their reserves in timely fashions. Inspire, when you either need it because you're going to die and you want to be able to just make yourself a little bit more combat efficient to be able to possibly get through the scenario. Or alternatively, hopefully, when you're in that kind of a scenario where you've got like 3 or 4 vehicles that want to have a little bit more combat capacity, and you will massively increase your experience if you're able to do that. Using the repair depots, I guess now, because hardly anyone's going to be using engineering, is going to take a little bit longer this time than it used to. Previously, I took engineering in pretty much all of my vehicles. It was the most powerful reserve possible. I'm going to be definitely taking engineering a little bit more today, as I'm going to be practicing Frontline and seeing what all of the new reserves are like and seeing whether engineering is still a meta or not. But it definitely means that you have to spend longer in the repair circle to be able to get your tank back up to working order. I feel like this game, I've been kind of living on the skin of my teeth in a way here. I've always been so close to not having a tank. But luckily, those 2 repairs, one that I did in the LT432 and one that I'm doing right now in the Progetto, will mean that I'm able to, as I'm getting confused, I'm thinking like where I'm thinking of deploying my artillery strike. And that would have been such a good thing to do if I hadn't been slow. If I had dropped the artillery strike on that location over at the decap, then I might have been able to get some base defense points. And if I'd been able to do that, my experience bar would be rocketing up. But let me stay on track, and that is that the people who use those reserves more effectively are going to be the ones who get the levels, and I'm just going to have to wait and see how good engineering is. I've previously used it in every single one of my tanks. Now I'm not so sure, but having access to the artillery strike right from the get-go is pretty cool. I have to admit, I don't really like the way that Wargaming are trying to fit the different reserves on different tank types. I feel like it's because they realize just how powerful light tanks and medium tanks can be. Oh dear, what's this ELC even 90 driving? Will I be able to shoot him underneath the dead panther that's in front of me? Nah, we should be okay. So a vehicle like the Progetto in this situation is just so flexible. And if you have any Italian auto-reloaders, if you have the Pantera or if you have the Standard B, once the second half of the battle unlocks, which it has now, and we'll be seeing lots of people starting to redeploy in Tier 9 tanks, if you can use Inspire with Italian auto-reloaders, you will just become absolutely god-tier boys and girls. Because remember, oh, let's hope we can manage to. Will we be able to land our airstrike on the Borask or the Walker Bulldog? No, it looks like they just drove out. And we're not going to do any damage with that artillery barrage. Boo-hoo-hoo. Inspire with Italian auto-reloaders is incredibly powerful because you quite often find that you can just fire a shot, reload, fire a shot, reload. Unlike other auto-loaders, which have intra-click, which can't get improved by crew skills, Italian auto-reloaders effectively, when they've got good crew skills, can spend just that little bit longer to be able to get the shell in, keep their DPM higher, and they can become absolutely monstrous. And there you go, the Object 430, the first tier 9 tank that I have seen in Frontline. And oh, here's a pattern as well in the M46. Luckily, it looks like I'm getting quite a lot of spotting here against the enemy team, getting a little bit of damage out, and we managed to get our captain rank. But oh dear, doesn't mean anything as we managed to get shut down by the Ripper pattern. Luckily, we can spawn again. And what tank do you think the Quickie Baby is going to pick for his first tier 9 in Frontline? Why not the best one, right? The Concept 1B, a ranked reward vehicle. I almost don't think that tanks like this should be playable in Frontline, because only a very small percentage of the player base have them. A lot of the more casual players aren't going to know exactly how to deal with a vehicle like this. It's also really fast. It's got an incredible turret. It's got a really nice 120mm gun, or maybe it's actually not 120, it's a 110mm caliber gun. Let me clarify that for a second. This thing is the all-purpose heavy tank. And I don't like this transition of the battle where suddenly it doesn't feel like tier 8 is enough. I think one of the reasons why people loved Frontline was because of the same tier matchmaking. I think that, well, I prefer multiple tiers inside the random queue because I think it makes for a more interesting and varied game with, more varied battles. It feels just like more rewarding to have a nice spread of vehicles inside the random queue. I do think that Frontline was just like a nice casual game mode where you didn't feel that, it was just nice to know that if you're in a tier 8 tank that you were going to be top tier, and more importantly that you didn't feel that you had to fire gold at your opponents, especially your higher tier tanks, to be able to be competitive. In this kind of a scenario, you're just going to see my progress just step up and up and up and up and up. And that's what's going to happen right now. Because we're playing a tier 9 tank, and tier 9 tanks, as you would expect, are better than tier 8. I just feel as if it kind of shouldn't have happened. And one of the magical things about Frontline, which was being able to play your tier 8s, not have to use premium rounds, not have to use premium consumables, and be able to make a lot of credits, a lot of experience, and just to have a little bit more of a kickback, a chill, a relax, not such a frenetic kind of game. That has kind of disappeared a little bit with the fact that there are now tier 9 tanks that you're going to have to fire gold at, with tier 9 tanks that you're going to feel like you're a baby tank when you're playing your tier 8s again. And more importantly, while Wargaming can argue... Oh, by the way, check this one out. This one's delicious. This one's delicious. Shall we have a little bit of a look at this one? Oh, those campers. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, goodbye, Object 430. And we hit the A phase one a little bit. That shows you just how important it is to use those reserves and try and hit them against camping heavies. We got 1,317 damage against the Object 430. And remember, I don't have to pay for that airstrike. I don't have to pay for that airstrike. But I get all of the bonus from it. So I'm going to get all of that experience, I'm going to get all of that damage. And it pretty much catapulted me up to the major rank. And while we're not going to be the first general inside this battle because of our horrific start, we're starting at least to be able to make a bit of a comeback. And when you have access to vehicles like a Concept 1B, but to be fair, you could play any kind of autoload. You could play your Char Future 4, you could be able to play even a standard B, maybe even a tier 9 Bat Chat, something like that. You're going to be very powerful at this stage of the battle. But no more frustrating than this turtle decided to shoot me. So I decided to activate my Inspire because I thought that maybe I would have the view range to be able to shoot the turtle. That was actually a misplay because I was over 445 meters away from him, so I was never going to be able to use that. So I'm just wasting my Inspire now like a complete donkey. By the way, a lot of people always ask me this on stream. Pro tip, you can either press your M key to look at your map, but people ask, how do you manage to make the map zoomed out down here? Because I don't want to have to press my M key the whole time, and my monitor and resolution is big enough so that I can see the whole of the map by just having it like this. I hardly ever have to zoom in like that. What you do is you hold your control key, you mouse over the minimap, and then you can just scroll using your mouse wheel to be able to either zoom out or zoom in, and that will be incredibly helpful for being able to gauge the battlefield and see where you possibly would have to go. So tier 9 tanks, just seems so bizarre to see a T10 on this map. Unfortunately for me, even though my Concept 1B with this Inspire setup is outrageously good, I'm still not doing very well against this T10, but at least by locking down their tracks, that makes them vulnerable to the subsequent shot. And now when I lock down their tracks, I know they don't have a repair kit. I'm going to do 492, which is almost a max roll with this gun. I get a little bit of tracking from the support from the 7772. I'm going to put another round in, and then hopefully my 7772 is going to finish him off. And just like that, I've managed to farm up 1,600. Just feels crazy that I'm playing tier 9 tanks, with all due respect. I just feel like they have no place, but some people might enjoy it. Let me play for an entire week before I come to a final opinion about this. So in this kind of a scenario, I just need to be really aggressive right now. I'm going to drop my airstrike here to see if I can manage to catch out a vehicle on the other flank. Actually, no, that wasn't an airstrike. It was a scouting plane to be able to light up a different part of the map. And there we go. We managed to get ourselves general rank by killing a G-Saw. Huzzah, right? Now as the enemies drop all of their bombs on me, I managed to drop my airstrike off just as I managed to die. And at this stage of the battle, when the enemies only have a minute left, I think it's just about playing your best premium tank. I'm not going to zone in, I don't think, in a tier 9. I'm just going to zone in a tier 8. Am I going to play the Borask? Am I going to play the Progetto? Looks like I'm deciding which one I want to play. And I'm going to choose to make the credits, boys and girls. And while there will be some people out there who want to progress in their tier 9s, and there will be some people out there who just want to play their Concept 1B, because they absolutely, utterly must be the most dominant tank, and they can't be happy unless they're playing the best thing, and they want to try and crush all of the enemy as quickly and as painfully as possible for them. No, I'm probably going to end up playing mostly premium. What I think I'm going to do is, when tier 9 tanks are available, if I feel like I need to extend the game when I'm attacking, I'm probably going to play a tier 9. If I feel as if I haven't quite managed to get the general rank and playing tier 9 tanks are going to help me, then I'll probably play a tier 9 in defense as well. Right up until I feel like the game is either won, or at least we're going to get to farm at the end of it, and then I'm going to jump into premium tanks, because premium tanks are still going to make the money. While you're not going to lose credits in your tier 9 unless you're using premium consumables and you're firing pretty much exclusively gold rounds, probably going to break even in them or thereabout. I think premium tanks are still the vehicles that really do make the bacon. And this is where I kind of just felt, well, maybe standard rounds won't be too bad. But then again, how often are you going to get to just fully unload on an E75, right? Shutting down the Charfu Cheer 4 there, and you can see my team is doing a blooming good job of being able to defend against the enemy. And once again, it's all about flanking positions. It's all about using your mobility. Mobility and autoloaders, if you have access to them, will make you a better front line player. And with 2 minutes left on the game, it's all about trying to mop up as much as we possibly can. So let's get above the Progetto, put one in, put two in to be able to finish him off. Put another one into the Kunze-Panzer as well, just why it's so lovely to play auto-reloaders. We're going to drop our recon flight on the other side of the map. We're going to drop our airstrike on that M103 heavy tank to see if we can manage to catch him out. And then we're going to hopefully put some rounds here into the Renegade, but will our team be able to allow me, or am I going to aim like a potato? Oh no, looks like we just managed to track them or do nothing. And that's it for this battle. Oh, I should mention here just how annoying it is to... That was the first time where I felt really angry that I was playing a tier 8 tank. Because It's an E50. I can't pen it even if I'm shooting it in its lower plate at that kind of distance with premium rounds. And that just feels absolutely brutal, boys and girls. I think it's going to annoy a lot of people this season on Frontline, that feeling of some people spawning in tier 9s, some people wanting to try and keep the tier 8s going. While it does add a little bit of variety to Frontline, I don't think Frontline was ever truly about the variety. I think Frontline was just about taking your best tank, well, not your best tank, it was about having an even playing field of all tier 8s where you felt like it was a safe place to be able to fire standard rounds, not have to use premium consumables, and feel that everyone was on a level playing field. So after the battle, I was very happy to see that Wargaming have not cheaped out with the amount of credits and the amount of experience that you will be able to achieve, at least if you're able to get the general rank. We got 324,000 credits, we spent 20,000 on ammunition, 19,000 on repairing our vehicle, which gives us a cool 285,000 profit. This was without a credit booster. If I had been running a credit booster, then we would have been near enough 500,000 credits received for a half an hour battle. And I tell you what, thank goodness that Wargaming didn't nerf the credit income, because I think if they had, with the introduction of tier 9 vehicles into it, there would have been absolute outrage. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. Really hope you liked this Frontline Survival Guide, Refresh, Boot Camp, whatever you want to call it. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down, and don't open your Outlook. Sorry, that was me. And let me know in the comments if you've played tier 9 already. Do you think it's in a better position, or do you think it's in a worse position? And for any of you out there who haven't played World of Tanks in a very long time and are thinking of coming back just to be able to play Frontline, then make sure you use my code WB Quickie Baby on the European server on the Wargaming website. I put a link in the description down below before you do so. I'd really appreciate it. It would help me out to try and win a competition which is going on at the moment, so I can win 100,000 gold to be able to give away to the World of Tanks community. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, thank you so much to you for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. And as always, thanks so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
Objective 2 under attack.
Alright, Wagner hier verstört.
Ready for deployment. Main objectives are secure. Well done. captured. Extra time has been added. Zone C contested.
Rensat i plåten. Vi slog igenom pansaret. Genom pansaret. Träff. Kort verkan. Inte igenom pansaret. Ingen verkan i målet. Träff. Kort verkan. Målet nedkämpat.
Air Scout is ready. Objective 3 reached. Our reinforcements have arrived.
Fienden träffad. Skrapar knappt nacken.
We have destroyed Objective 3. Attack the last one. Objective 5 reached.
Vi gick igenom pansaret. Granaten lyser. Träff. Motverkan.
time has been added. Our reinforcements have arrived.
Den gick genom pansaret.
Heavy artillery is ready.
De är borta. Alldeles för nära. Träff. Genomslag.
Zone D has been captured. Extra time has been added. Our general has entered the field. Heavy artillery is ready. Inspire reserve is ready. Air Scout is ready. Objective 4 reached.
Wirkungstreffer.
The history of the Israeli army is something of an armor enthusiast's dream. They seem to have used pretty much everything from everywhere, to include
Our goal is to study the enemy and deter their advance. We must stop them breaking through our lines at any cost. We continue looking for a way out of the situation. Tank groups are being sent to Murney every day.
Colonel, I've got...
Not now, Hope. Each unit collects
to the heart. I never kissed a mouth that tastes like yours. Strawberries and something more. Oh yeah, I want it all. Lipstick on my guitar. Fill up the engine, we can drive real far. Go dancing underneath the stars. Oh yeah, I want it all. You got me feeling like I wanna be that guy. I wanna kiss your eyes. I wanna drink that spark. I wanna feel like my soul's on fire. I wanna stay up all day and all night. Yeah, you got me singing like, ooh, I love the way you do it like that. And when you're closer, give me the shivers. Oh, baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. And then they say the party's over, then we bring it right back. They say, oh, I love the way you do it like that. And when you're closer, give me the shivers. Oh, baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. And then they say the party's over, then we bring it right back to the car. On the backseat in the morning dark. Wrap me up between your legs and arms. Oh, I can get enough. You know you could tear me apart. On the backseat in the morning dark. Wrap me up between your legs and arms. Oh, I can get enough. You know you could tear me apart. Put me back together and take my heart. I never thought that I could love this hard. Ooh, I can get enough. You got me feeling like I wanna be that guy. I wanna kiss your eyes. I wanna drink that spark. I wanna feel like my soul's on fire. I wanna stay up all day and all night. Yeah, you got me singing like, ooh, I love the way you do it like that. And when you're closer, give me the shivers. Baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. And then they say the party's over, then we bring it right back. You'll say, ooh, I love the way you do it like that. And when you're closer, give me the shivers. Baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. And then they say the party's over, then we bring it right back.
My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all. The morning rain clouds up my window, and I can't see it all. And even if I could, it'll all be great. But your picture on my wall, it reminds me that it's not so bad. It's not so bad. My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all. The morning rain clouds up my window, and I can't see it all. And even if I could, it'll all be great. But your picture on my wall, it reminds me that it's not so bad. It's not so bad. I drank too much last night, got bills to pay. My head just feels in pain. I missed the bus and there'll be hell today. I'm late for work again, and even if I'm there, they'll all imply that I might not last the day. And then you call me, and it's not so bad. It's not so bad. My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all. The morning rain clouds up my window,
Just lay down, turn my side. Do you feel my heat on your skin? Take off your clothes, blow out the fire. Don't be so shy, you're right, you're right. Take off my clothes, oh bless me Father. Don't ask me why, you're right, you're right. On my stay, I'm incoming. I can feel your hips in my hands. And I'm laying down by your side. I can taste the sweet of your skin. Take off your clothes, blow out that fire. Don't be so shy, you're right, you're right. Take off my clothes, oh bless me Father. Don't ask me why, you're right, you're right. Yourself in my holy water, and both your eyes just got so much brighter, and you so God, oh yeah, so much closer. Take off your clothes, blow out the fire. Don't be so shy, you're right, you're right. Take off my clothes, oh bless me Father. Don't ask me why, you're right, you're right. In the dark, I see your smile. Do you feel my heat on your skin? On my stay, I'm incoming. I can feel your hips in my hands. And I'm laying down by your side. I can taste the sweet of your skin. Yeah. Take off your clothes, blow out the fire. Don't be so shy, lost my mind inside. I lost my senses, but it feels nice. You got me burning on the inside. I kiss an angel and it feels right. I keep you safe and sound at night. Let's just keep it real, don't wanna hide again. This starry night, you got me closing my eyes, and it feels like we're touching the sky. The stars fall, but I'm staying up high with you, with you. I'm dreaming of you. I think I lost my inside. I lost my senses, but it feels nice. You got me burning on the inside. I kiss an angel and it feels right. I keep you safe and sound at night. Just keep it real, don't wanna hide. I give you everything you need. Make me, yeah, you make me believe again, again.
I let fall my heart, and as it fell, you rose to claim it. It was dark, and I was over, until you kissed my lips and you saved me. My hands, they were strong, but my knees were far too weak to stand in your arms without falling to your feet. But there's a side to you that I never knew. All the things you'd say, they were never true. In the games you play, you would always win. But I set fire to the rain, watched it pour as I touched your face. When it burned while I cried, 'cause I heard it screaming out your name. When I lay with you, I could stay there, close my eyes with you. Forever, you and me together, nothing is better. 'Cause there's a side to you that I never knew. All the things you'd say, they were never true. In the games you play, you would always win. But I set fire to the rain, watch it pour as I touch your face. When it burned while I cried, 'cause I heard it screaming out your name. I set fire to the rain, and I realized into the flames. When it fell, something died, 'cause I knew that was the last time. Sometimes I wake up by the door, that hurt you caught must be waiting for you. Even now when we're already over, I can help myself from looking for you. I set fire to the rain, watched it pour as I touch your face. Well, it burned while I cried, 'cause I heard it screaming out your name. Your name.
cycle repeated as explosions broke in the sky. All that I needed was the one thing I couldn't find, and you were there at the turn, waiting to let me know. We're building it up to break it back down. We're building it up to burn it down. We can't wait to burn it to the ground. The colors conflicted as the flames climbed into the clouds. I wanted to fix this, but couldn't stop from tearing it down. And you were there at the turn, caught in the burning glow. And I was there at the turn, waiting to let you know. We're building it up to break it back down. We're building it up to burn it down. We can't wait to burn it to the ground.
Jesus, meet me at the Heartbreak Hotel. You made me so cautious, you made me stay as fast as a Porsche, yeah, when you run away, hiding from all that you never say. Why can't we go where our love is fair?
Tell me, baby, please be honest. Why can't we go home, baby? Tell me where we're going. I really need to know. Tell me, baby, please be honest. Why can't we go home, baby? Tell me where we're going. I really need to know. Tell me, baby, please be honest. Why can't we go home, baby? Tell me where we're going. I really need to know. Tell me, baby, please be honest. Why can't we go home, baby? Tell me where we're going. I really.
You made me so cautious, you made me stay as fast as a Porsche, yeah, when you run away, hiding from all that you never say. Why can't we go where our love is fair?
Tell me, baby, please be honest. Why can't we go home, baby? Tell me where we're going. I really need to know. Tell me, baby, please be honest. Why can't we go home, baby? Tell me where we're going. I really need to know. Tell me, baby, please be honest. Why can't we go home, baby? Tell me where we're going. I really need to know.
She says meet me at the Heartbreak Hotel. Heartbreak, heartbreak. She says meet me at the Heartbreak Hotel. Heartbreak, heartbreak. She says meet me at the Heartbreak Hotel.
Don't you dare let go of me now. We're falling free. It's ecstasy, crashing down so fearlessly. We're finding who we're meant to be. You can fill me with your ray, right by your side, glistening in starlight. We're dripping in gold and loving so bold. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you want the sun?
sweat dripping off me before I even knew her name. La, la, la. It felt like ooh la la la, yeah. Oh, sapphire moonlight. We danced for hours in the sun, tequila sunrise. Her body fit right in my hands. La la la.
'Cause you know it's been a long time coming, don't you let me fall.
Oh, how your lips undress me, hooked on your tongue. Oh, Lord, your kisses deadly, don't stop. I love it when you call me señorita. I wish I could pretend I didn't need you, but every touch is true, la la la. It's true, la la la. Oh, I should be running. Oh, you know I love you when you call me señorita. I wish it wasn't so damn hard to leave you, but every touch is true, la la la. It's true, la la la. Oh, I should be running. Oh, you keep me coming for ya.
Call my name, I'll be coming for ya. I'm about to lose my mind. You've been gone for so long, I'm running out of time. I need a doctor, call me a doctor. I need a doctor, doctor, to bring me back to life. You've been gone for so long, I'm running out of time. I need a doctor, call me a doctor. I need a doctor, doctor, to bring me back to life. When you gonna stop breaking my heart? I don't wanna be another one. Praying for the things I never done. Don't let go tonight. for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Anytime of year, could find it here. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Anytime of year, could find it here. Her man is Tiffany twisted. She got the Mercedes Benz. She got a lot of pretty, pretty boys she calls friends. How they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I called up the captain, please bring me my wine. He said, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969. And still those voices are calling from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely place. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Anytime of year, could find it here. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely place. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Anytime of year, could find it here.
My lover's got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no power, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no fame, he's got